Hi everyone, Messy Coder here with another Unity tutorial. This time we're extending our scriptable objects and our skill system even further. And a massive thank you to everyone who came to the Twitch stream on Saturday. We streamed for over 10 hours and gave away nearly $2,000 worth of Unity assets. And if you didn't win a prize, don't worry, because this Friday we'll be streaming again and giving away more Unity assets. That's right, for everyone who didn't win a prize, you've got a second chance to be a winner. Hi, it's Messy Coder here and we're inside Unity. Before I kick off, I just want to let you know that I've been a little bit cheeky with this tutorial because I found a Conan Exiles wiki page and I went and downloaded a load of their icons. Well, it's just for this tutorial. I'm not going to use it in any game. I'm not going to make them available to download. So after this tutorial, I'll just delete them all. So I figured it would be fun to make a Conan Exiles looking skill screen because after all, that's what's inspired us to make this tutorial. And there you go, I've made this little UI in Photoshop. It doesn't look fantastic, but it does the job. And just like in the last tutorial, I made some scriptable objects and click here, create RPG generator, player and create skill. And here are my assets for my scriptable objects. And I made an acolyte of Messy, as you can see here. And I've put in the icons that we downloaded from that Conan wiki. Now, fair warning, this is not going to be a tutorial on how to make interfaces in Unity. I'm not the best at the UI in Unity, so if you want to learn how to do that stuff, I would suggest just pop over to YouTube after this tutorial, obviously, and have a quick look. Now, I just want to show you what to expect in this tutorial. Now, remember the last lesson, we had all this information, the level, the cost, and the stats that you increase here on the left-hand side. When you clicked on the skill, it gave you that skill. Now, I've moved all of that over to the right, and when you click on it, it populates this, and down here there's an unlock button. And I've also added this requires bar here, and that shows you which skills are prerequisites. If I go to Acolyte of Messy, you can see it requires religion, and if we go down to something a little bit more complex like Master Craftsman, you can see it requires 3 things. Now I didn't add any tooltips or anything fancy to show what they are because they're over here on the left, but you can always add that yourself later. Also added this on the right hand side, you can see what level and XP we've got. So if I go and actually get Acolyte of Messy, you'll notice here I can't actually get Acolyte of Messy. It won't let me get it. But if I go to religion, I can get it. Yeah, it cost me 2 XP, so that's dropped down to 8. Now, because I've got the prerequisite, I can get Acolyte of Messy. Let's unlock that. Lovely. Didn't actually give me an increase in stats, but if I get this one and I get some more XP, then let's find something that does. Here we go. This will increase my reason by 15. Yeah, nice. Lovely. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of editing on the scripts that we played about with last time. So let's pop over to our scripts folder, messy space. So if we go over here and we find player handler, and now we just want to be mucking about, and I'm going to add in here a couple of more bits. We're going to say void start, because we didn't have a start in there before. Oh, get rid of that. And I'm going to say if m_canvas.gameObject active in hierarchy equals true. So if we can actually see the canvas, then we're going to say mCanvas equals true. There you go. Now I can actually stick that inside another method and have that get called inside the start, which is probably cleaner, but I haven't done that, so there you go. Now if we go down to here, I am going to do something that is tidier. I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it inside a new method. So we'll say public void show UI, and that's what I'm going to call it. And let's grab this from here, shove it in there, grab you, stick you there. Job's a good one. We got the kids screaming in the background. Don't let that pull you off your coding. You can still have fun. Reason why I've done this is now I can attach this to a button, and I can close and show the UI with a button rather than just pushing tab on my keyboard. A little bit tidier. And this way, whenever we start up, it checks to see if the canvas is visible or not, and then it will put the status of this ball true or false. Well, Actually, saying that, we need to make sure it starts up full, so just to be safe, I'm going to say that m_c canvas, my ball is always going to start false, and it will get set true either from here or from here. Now we want to play about with the player stat script and do a little bit of tweaking. First thing we're going to do, because we want to start using the UI stuff, we want to say using Unity engine.ui. Now we can do something magic. We can go down here, add a couple of more public variables. Public, and I'm going to say text. We're going to call this one text player level, and I'm going to make this one public text player XP. This is so we can have the level and the XP visible in our interface. Makes it easier for us when we're playing about. Okay, so now let's add under here a public void, and not you, void, and I'm going to call this one show data. Let's put a string in there. Sting? Let's put a string in there even. And there we go. Lovely. Oh, that was fun. Now we say if our I is going to be something, and if, our I is going to be something as well. So what's this one going to be? This is going to be I equals level. What are we going to do? Well, text player level dot text is going to be equal to m_player level to string. And this one is going to say if our I is XP, and then same thing, we're going to say text player, but instead of level it's going to be XP, text equals the m player, not level but XP to string. Oops. Now we're able to update. Oh, hang on, look at that. We forgot our second. Because don't forget, you've got to have two equals. If you've got one equal, then you're going to say I is now going to become XP. And in this statement, you've got to say, is I equal to XP? So, is it equal to the type that is XP, which is a string, and the value that is inside that string, which is XP? Otherwise, that just gets a bit messy. Okay, let's just save that in case my computer crashes, because we don't want that to happen. That's happened before. Let's pop down here and we'll do a start. I'm not sure we've got a start. Did we put a start in? No, let's put a start in. So public void start, and here we'll say show data, and we'll put in here level, and now we'll say show data, got to be capital, and now we'll say XP. And as this loads up, it calls this, and it will set the value in our text interface. And just in a moment, when we've finished all this, we'll have to drag over our UI components into this script. Okay, good so far. We're having fun. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying yourself too. Let's pop up here to the top. Let's put a curly here. There we go. And now on change, we'll say, because it's XP change, we'll say also show data XP. Now whenever our XP changes, we'll also use this method to update the UI. Likewise for this one, we've got to put a curly in because now we've got more than one thing going on. And we'll say show data and level. Lovely, save that. See, now whenever our XP or level is updated independently, because one could change and the other one doesn't necessarily have to, we'll make sure that it's updating the right thing. We don't have to always update both, you only need to update one. Not so messy, a little bit messy. Now we want the player skills to work a little bit like we had these ones up here for the levels. So let's grab this here. Lovely. And where are we? Player skills. So I'm going to stick this under here. Oh, that makes it a little bit dirty, doesn't it? And we're going to change this to be a private. And we'll put here a public list skills, and this one will be called player skills like the last one was. But now, here we go. Now we've got a bit of funkiness going. We'll grab this, put it here, put you there, and now, oh, we don't need you anymore because we don't need to show level, and because we've only got one thing, we don't need to have you, Mr. Curlies. We don't want it to be on level change, we want to make a new one called skill change. So let's grab you, copy you, stick you there, a lot of copy and pasting going on. Change you to be called on skill change, and put a lower, oh, little lowercase o there, and now, biff paff puff, jobs are good. We've now got our player skills, we've got this private list of player skills, and we've got this public list of player skills, and whenever we update, this listener here will go, hey, something's happened, let's check to see what's going on, and we'll use that later on. Alright, lovely, let's save that. So now let's look back and see what we've done. We've added in these text components, we've added in the Unity engine.ui so we can actually use them, we add them, we populate them whenever we've updated our XP or our skill, and we've put we're subscribing to a listener whenever our skills are being updated. Where are they? Here they are, because we want to be able to update the UI whenever our skills change. Oh, this is all fun. Back inside Unity, you can see here that I've got player level and player XP, and here is an empty text component here called text level, and here's an empty one for text XP. We'll find Bob. Here's Bob. They've got here our variables. We've got text player level and text player XP. I'm just going to drag those in here. So the XP goes in that one, and the level one goes in there. And down here, I want to create a new script. I'm going to say create script, and it's going to be called skill select. Let's open these two up in our favorite editor, and we're going to copy things over from skill display into skill select. So here we are, we've got our skill select. First things first, I'm going to make a namespace, messy space, and stick him down the bottom here. Lovely. Alright, as a start, go back into our skill display, and we're going to copy from here all the way down to the bottom, and then we'll just start pruning out whatever we don't need in skill select. I find that a lot easier way to get started. Let's pop down here. We don't need get skills, don't need you. We also don't need this here. We don't need this, but I'm going to use this to turn it into an if statement. So if, and now we're going to say get your curlies and stick you there. Oops, that's tidier. And now, and see this reactor change enable skills? Well, that's going too fast. So we need to add in a little coroutine down here just to delay things. So down here, I enumerate, enumerator, and small delay. I'm going to call this one, and I'm going to make it so I can play about. So I'm going to put a float. Calling my float time, and here we're just going to yield return new wait for seconds, and passing through our variable here time. And what is he going to do? Well, he's going to do this one, enable skills. It's going to go here, and instead of enable skills here, we can say start coroutine, and which one? Well, yep, you guessed it, our small delay. And now we need to pass through how much the delay is going to be, 0.5. Lovely, that's it. That's all we need to do on skill select. Let's save you. Now in the UI, I've got a very messy way of showing required skills. I've just got these 4 here, and I'm basically saying to myself there can only be a maximum of 4 required skills per skill, and that way I don't have to worry about doing any fancy code. I just stick them in here. So let's pop back into the code. Let's edit our Scriptable Objects skills file, and now we want to, here we go, add a public list of skills, and I'm going to call this one required skills, and it's going to be a new list of skills. Lovely. Let's add a little bit of error handling and playing about here. So let's grab that, and we'll say SS or skill select, not display. because now we've got skill display and skill select, and this one is going to be skill select. Right, so now we've got SD for skill display, SS for skill select. Let's ignore the screaming children who won't go to sleep and are being naughty. So let's say if SS, that's our skill select, then we want to add, because we don't need the icon in the other one, we only need it there. So let's move you up in here, and we're also going to grab you there, and we'll change these two SS's rather than SD. Lovely. Now we can say if, oh no, a little bit small, should be big, if SD, we'll do the same thing. We'll add you in here, Mr. Curly. Lovely. And what have we got? We've got our skill description, we've got our skill level, we've got our skill XP needed, but our attribute might give us a bit of trouble because we don't know if it has attributes or not. So let's say if sd.skill attribute, so he's got the value, and let's clear it at the start. Skill attribute dot text equals, so we're always going to be clearing it out from the last time. Skill attribute and affected attributes dot count is going to be greater than 0. So there are actually, it does affect some attributes, otherwise this is going to kick up an error. Alright, how's that looking? That looks not too bad. And we'll do the same kind of thing for this one. So we'll say skill attribute amount dot text, and we'll say if you affected attributes count is greater than 0 again. And that way we've got ourselves a little bit of error handling. Well, let's take this opportunity to fix some shenanigans in our get skills. So let's add an int x, what is z, affected attributes dot count. Oh, my fingers are not working today at all. Alright, now we've still got all this the same as before. The only difference is we're going to take this out of here and we'll put it at the end here, and we'll say if I is greater than, or not greater, equal to x. And that way we've iterated through this the correct number of times to get the right number of attributes that we should be affecting. There you go, that's all that was. A little bit of tidier error handling there. Lovely. So now we need to know if the player has the required skills to actually get this skill. Let's make a new method. We'll call this one public void has required skills, and I'm going to pass through the player stats, and we call this player. Right, and because it's a ball, it does need to return true or false, so I was just going to stick a return false at the end just to stop it complaining. It's going to be very similar to the stuff that we did up here, only a slight change, because instead of being for player attributes, it's going to be for skills. So we can actually just grab all of this, so we can go grab all you, and we'll put you down here, and then we just go through and change it. So instead of it being affected attributes, we want it to be this, because it's what it's actually going to be for the skill that it's related to. Required skills count, so that's our x. Now if there aren't any skills, we can actually just get out of here. So let's say that if x is less than or equal to 0, then just return true and say that it does have the required skills, because there are no requirements. So jobs are good. So we need to list through all the skills, and we're going to call these R skills for required skills. It's not going to be affected attributes. It's going to be this dot required skills get enumerator, and this one is going to be the R skills. Now we need to list through all the players' skills to make sure they match, and likewise we did above, so it'll be list skills enumerator of, we'll call this one P skills, and it'll be player dot player skills because it's not player attribute, and we're getting that enumerator. Now while, and we've got to say while P skills dot move next, because we've already got the R skills moving next up here. Now I need to say if P skills dot current dot attributes dot name is equal to R skills dot current name, then we don't need any of that. We just need to mark that it was updated. So get rid of that. I enjoy doing it this way, but I think this is a bit messy, and there's probably better ways of doing it. Effectively, what we're doing, we're enumerating through one list and then checking another list. So first we go through all of the required skills that this skill actually has, and for each skill that it's got, we then check to see if the player has that skill, and if he does have that skill, because they both match, we mark it down and we move on to the next one. A bit messy, isn't it? And if we do, we don't need any of this, we just need to say that it's true. So if we've got all of the ones that we need, so the numbers match, we're returning true. Otherwise, we return false. And actually, let's tidy that up a little bit. We don't even need that. Right, let's save that. And now we need to use this. So let's grab U, and we'll find where we've got the checks. Up here, we've got all of the checks. We can now add in if, and we say the player. Oh no, if he doesn't have it, so if it's false, then we're going to return false and get out. So if he doesn't have the skills, return false. Otherwise, when we've finished all of our checks, we'll return true. Right, back inside the skill display, now we need to, up here, let's add in a couple of more. Let's add in the using Unity Engine event systems, and also let's add in the collections generic just for fun. And we want to put underneath this player handler, we'll make a list of our skills that we're going to have, and then I'm going to say private, oh no, make it public list image, because it's a list of images, and I'm going to call this required skills list equals new list of images. And there you go, lovely. In the start, we don't need enable skills, we don't need this, we don't, because they're in the skill select. Also, we don't have enable skills anymore, so we can get rid of U. On enable, we don't have U anymore. We do still have the get skill. We don't need the turn on and turn off skills anymore, and we don't need this react to change anymore. And when we use our get skill, we won't be using turn on get skill, we'll be using the one from the skill select. Alright, so let's go down and make a new method. We'll call this one public void show required list, and we'll put through a skills, and yep, we're going to call it skills with a Z. While we're at it, I'm going to make another one called clear. So void clear labels, and we say again skills, and just get used to that. Alright, so now whenever we click on one of the skills in the UI, it's going to show them the required list, and also when we've clicked on it, it'll clear out what we previously had. So let's do the cleared one first. List image and dot enumerator of required images, and this will be our required images list. So required skills list dot get enumerator. Lovely. And we'll do that while required images, move next. Oops, hang on, left. Oh, there he is. And now we'll say required images dot, what's the current one? Has he got the component image? If he does have it, let's override that sprite with null. So let's empty it, and let's put a semicolon here and add a little bit of quotes here. So let's get the no, whoops, my fingers are not working. So let's say clears the icon for the display. Lovely. Now on our show, we can, first thing we'll say is clear labels skills. So that's the first thing we do. We clear the last labels. And now we're just going to go through and show all of those skills that we need. Quite an easy one, this one. It's the same as what we've done in all the others, to be honest. So we've got an integer here. I'm going to call this one I again, and setting him to nothing, to 0. And now we're going to go and say int x equals, and we'll say skills, because we passed that through here. And we'll say required skills dot count, and that's how many required skills we're going to need to show. Looking very familiar? I think it is. And yep, you guessed it, we're going through and we're going to enumerate through a list. This time it's a list of images. Enumerator, I'm going to call this one required images, and it's going to be our required skills list. We had right at the top get enumerator and our brackets, and now we need to while through them. So we'll go while rec images dot move next, and then our brackets, and now our curlies, and this is where the magic's going to happen. We need to make sure we never show more skills than we need, so we need to say if I is greater or equal, oops, is greater or equal to x, then let's just get out while we can. Otherwise, we're going to start playing around. So we'll say skills, and I'm going to call this one current skill, just to keep it tidy. Or let's make that camel case. And we'll say here skills, required skills, and whichever one we're enumerating through. So this is the I. Now we need to put the image in place. Do you remember down below we cleared it? We had null. Well, actually, you can just grab that here and put it there, because we called it the same thing, required images, required images. Sometimes you do that, it makes your life a lot easier when you want to sit, copy and paste. And we'll say current skill dot icon, because that's the variable that we stick the image in. And now don't forget, we need to I++ it, so we can always add one as we go through our little loop we've got here, close it off with a semicolon. Lovely. So we had our clear labels and we cleared it, and here then we set it. So you always clear it before you set the next one, just to avoid any kind of nonsense. Now we need to put a button in. So let's go down here and do public void. We'll call this one button show values, and this is going to be what we click on whenever we click on a skill, because we're not getting the skill, we want to see the skill values. And a skill select, I'm going to call this one nice and simple button, and it's an event system because we want to know that our button was pushed. It's the current, and we say current selected game object, get the component, skill select. Lovely. So it was the button, the current selected button with a game object skill select. Now skill equals button.skill, and this is our public variable that's right at the top. We're going to say show required list skill. And if we actually have something in it, then we're going to say skill set value, oh, not set dirty, but set values list dot game object, and here our M player handler. Oh, that was a lot of typing. So should we put some little code in here? Let's say show skill values on start. There we go. And up here, let's say get the current button pressed by using Unity Engine Event System. So don't forget, at the top here, this is why you've got the Unity Engine.Event Systems. You knew it was going to come in handy, and this is where you used it. Now, last thing we need to play about is our get skills. Where is it? Where were you hiding? Up here. Do you remember we played about? Well, actually, we don't need this either. So let's say if skill does not equal null, ampersand does not have enable skill player handler, then we're going to say if, there's another if, we got these nested ifs, a bit naughty, check skills, and then the M player handler, ampersand skill has the required skills to make sure you can actually use them. Now we put our curlies in and say skill dot get skill and M player handler. There you go. Now we're using the get skill from our skills. I think we're done with all the code changes. I think we're done. Now inside Unity Editor, you see all your list of skills that you got. Previously we had, hang on, let's just minimize these. We had skill display on there. So let's get rid of skill display and let's add skill select instead. Very similar, just not the same. And the first one in my list of skills, I'm gonna have, let's put that there so you can see it, survivalist. There you go, that's my first one, survivalist skill. And the skill name, I'm going to drag in here, icon parent, we want to drag that into here on the skill icon. Right, let's pop down here to my details panel, and this is where all my magic happens, and I'm going to add in here skill display, and you see here I've got my attributes. I'm going to put my attributes here and the attribute amount there. I'm going to put my name, it's going to go here, the description, it's going to go here. As I say, icon we could have left, level and XP needed. Lovely. Now required skills, let's open that up and put 4. And this is messy, as I say, it is messy, but let's move these boxes over. So these are the 4 boxes that you can see here. Moving those over. You can do a lot of this. This can be done a lot better. This is a messy way of doing it. And it's restrictive because now I can only have a maximum of 4 required skills, but to be fair, I'm not going to need more than that, so I don't need to overcomplicate things. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate things just to make them work. Now we can make our buttons do something special. So let's pop up here to our buttons and click on our first one that we played about with, open up the button, and let's click plus, make sure it's got something there, drag in your details. Let's go to skill display, and then we want to select the button show values. Now whenever we click this, it will call that method button show values and update the information here on the right. And now we can go to our unlock button here, click on the plus, Same thing, we want to drag over our details in there, and we want to this time go to skill display, get skill. Now our close is a little bit different because that one, let's click plus on there, is on player. Drag player into there, go to player handler, and we want to have the show UI. Well, let's save it. I've only got one skill set up, so let's click play to see if it was working, and here you can see that the survival list has come up. Yay! You click it, survival list, level 1, 0 cost. Let's click on Bob. Hey up, one thing's missing here. I can see my attributes, but I can't see my skills. So I got a feeling we haven't actually serialized that. So let's pop back into our player stats, and where's the skills? Yep, here we go. We haven't serialized, and this one's public, so it doesn't have to be serialized, but this one does. Let's grab you because I can't be bothered to type it, and let's serialize this private, and let's go back inside our scene, and piff paff puff, there he is, player skills. Okay, that's better. So let's click play again. There's our survival list. Let's make a little bit more space, and let's, if we click unlock, it should appear here. Yay, it works. Hooray, hooray for me. Alright everyone, let's add all the rest in and see what happens. Alright, we're back again. Let's click play, and we've got loads of skills that have turned up here. At level 1, got a little bit of XP. Let's grab our survival list. Let's learn weaving, so we're down to 8. Let's get that religion as well, and we can also get acolyte of Messi. Lovely. So we've got 4 skills, but let's get this one. Oh, we can't get it. We've only got 2 XP, and that costs us 10. Damn. Okay, level up. We got 52 XP. Should we get this one? Yes, let's get it. Oh look, now we can get marathon because that was unlocked because we got athletics. This will increase our endurance to 50. Oh, let's have a look over here. What's our endurance at the moment? Oh, endurance is only 10. Oh, we want that. Baf! We've got endurance 60. Lovely. Now it's got a bright colour. Beautiful. Let's become an apprentice craftsman. And I haven't got enough XP to get anything else. Well, there you go. Have fun. Lots of different things you could do with this. Hopefully it opens the door for your imagination to run riot. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came and watched the stream on Saturday. We gave away nearly 2 grand's worth of Unity assets, and we lasted for over 10 hours. There were people in stream from the start. You guys sat there for over 10 hours listening to us chat and play about. That was amazing. And a massive thank you to all the developers and publishers who gave us keys for Saturday's competition. You guys are amazing. Down in the description there's links to everything that was in the giveaway. We also had special guests on Saturday. We had Software, the creators of UMMO 2, Moddable, Opportunity. They also make the Easy Replay Manager. They came, had a chat, showed us off UMMO 2, and we also spoke about how we could get Ultimate Survival working in multiplayer. The fantastic 3D Forge, an amazing artist who does the village interiors and exteriors kit on the Unity Asset Store. Well, he joined us on Saturday, giving us insight on what he's got planned next, and we had a fantastic chat talking about how he got started and his workflow. And also, I cannot emphasize enough just what a star Aquarius Max was. He came for an interview and he stayed for about 6 more hours. I think he was with us for about 7 hours all in all. An amazing bloke. We had a fantastic time, couldn't stop laughing, and everyone in chat had a brilliant time. And we can't go to bed without thanking our mod, Andy. What a star. He even came on the microphone for over 7 hours chatting. I didn't think he had a voice by the end of it. And if you play back the VOD, you might even catch him singing. And for everyone on Saturday who didn't win a prize, well, don't worry. We've got even more assets to give away on Friday. That's right, we've got Rollover Friday Raffle. It's my way of saying a huge thank you to everyone who stuck around for over 10 hours to watch the stream but didn't manage to win a prize. Well, I want you to go away with something, not leave empty-handed. So come back, let's have another go on a raffle just for you. And just like the lottery, we've got a bonus ball. Well, a bonus raffle actually, and that's open to everyone. So even if you were there on Saturday or you weren't there on Saturday, it doesn't matter. Come along on Friday, stick your name down, and you could be a winner. And if you like these videos, don't forget to click on that big juicy red subscribe button down below, call up all your friends, your neighbours, bang on doors and tell them they don't need to only watch on YouTube, they can also go to Twitch and watch. That's right, www.twitch.tv/themessycoder. So guys, if you do like it, click it. Till next time.
If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now, and down below there's that big juicy subscribe button, and right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.